survive, we make little images of moments which have seemed like ends. We thrive on epochs. So at the present time, there are few countries more associated with crisis than Greece. I hardly need to tell you. And last summer alone, Greece was in severe financial trouble. They were offered different bailout packages. They had a referendum, and they rejected them. Then they accepted a worse version of them. Then they had elections. All of that within the space of about 3 months of last summer, about a year ago. It's all unfolding. Our current feelings about Brexit and so on, with the referendum and uncertainty, just barely begins to scratch the surface, I think, of what people in Greece were feeling last summer, but also for quite some time, kind of endemic kind of pressure, consistent levels of desperation, hope, and uncertainty have been besetting Greece ever since the financial crisis for them began, which I actually associate with this image. This is the image I have of the Greek crisis really beginning, was the burning of his Christmas tree on Syntagma Square in 2008. So we're now, close to 8 years into the crisis in Greece. It's kind of a beacon that's advertising a crisis. As this crisis has progressed, graffiti has sprouted all over the walls, in walls all over Greece, not just Athens. And these graffiti begin to articulate the topic of my paper. Crisis has awakened a powerful strand of historical consciousness in ordinary Greece. For example, as Daniel's work has shown, in order to make sense of German demands and EU domination, people thought back to episodes such as the famines endured during the tourist revenue or international esteem, commented, and I quote, "If it is as they say," the archaeologists say, "this entire area will be saved. extensively, so it's not a matter any longer to be a pedestrian in Athens or anywhere else in Greece, that these things become globally disseminated. It says, my grandmother killed fascists, and you vote for them? The graffiti exploits a cultural sense of genealogy as at once a framework that structures separate epochs and at the same time one that indicates expected carryovers from the past into the present. It expresses surprise that the present is not like the past. In this respect, it points to an essential ambiguity between repetition and change, not only in Greek historical consciousness vis-à-vis time, but in the historical, in general social science use of the term periods. Periods, the best of social science usage, are discrete phases of time, and yet in the literature on this they're always disputed. You can periodize, but then someone will always come along and point out that the period that you're making is not discrete from the one before or the one after. There's always overlap between periods. This particular Greek graffito explicitly draws upon widespread Greek ideas about naming and inheritance, according to which grandchildren are often named after grandparents whom they are thought to resemble in a quasi-resurrection where the past comes back into the present. This instance of Greek epochal thinking activates an ethical dimension of history, which Michael Lambeck has illustrated in his study of spirit possession in Madagascar in a book entitled The Weight of the Past. Among the Sakalava of Madagascar, various spirits of past epochs appear simultaneously during the seances, and through the mouths of the people they possess, they voice opinions that inform decision-making in the present. This is a particularly dramatic and animated way of going about processes that secular governments generally perform through the dispassionate procedures of law and political debate. Legal records and historical documents allow the consideration of precedents and material facts which inform decisions as to whether past arrangements should be continued, modified, or ended. This particular graffito speaks to contemporary Greek society in a different mode altogether, directly appealing to people to live up to the standards of the past. If successful, the statement would command the serious attention of viewers, interpolating them, to use Althusser's term, pushing them to come to terms with their own redescription. The question is whether an ethical demand, phrased in the name of the past, can compel contemporary Greeks to recognize and act on the moral breakdown instigated by the economic crisis. Compare this to this is a stencil graffito picturing an elderly man, and he's reflecting inside of a cigarette smoke. I fought the fascists so that my grandchildren could bring them back. In this case, the past, represented in its heroic form, speaks directly to the present, rather than the present describing the past. It's an increment closer, perhaps, to Lambeck's